All right, this is 5 things I don't understand about God at all. I mentioned yesterday that I got these questions from the internet. I went to social media, and if you follow me there, you might get these kinds of questions from time to time. Let me know what you don't understand about God. So here is the second question that came through. Why and how does God discipline His followers? So this is a good one, and I turned to the book of Hebrews for the answer. I don't have a lot of time, so I want to read you 2 passages from Hebrews. This is in chapter 12 of the book of Hebrews. My son, do not regard lightly the discipline of the Lord, nor be weary when reproved by Him. For the Lord disciplines the one He loves, and here's the key part, and chastises every son, and if you're a woman, you can hear that, every daughter whom He loves. So if you're looking for the short and quick answer, God disciplines you because, so let's do it in short form, because He loves you, right? And because you are His son, or we're going to get tired of the stick man. I'll work on my art this week. You are His son or His daughter. Those of you who have children know that the last thing any of us want to have when we walk into a restaurant is an undisciplined child. Sometimes I feel like I want to discipline someone else's child. You know, you've been there. I think of Ricky Gervais in Night at the Museum. He's wandering through the museum saying, control your young, control your young. So God disciplines you because you're His child. That's why. Simple. How does He do it? This gets a little more complicated. Still in Hebrews 12, verse 14 now. Listen to this. Strive for peace with everyone. That's difficult. And for the holiness without which no one will see the Lord. See to it that no one fails to obtain the grace of God, that no root of bitterness springs up and causes trouble, and by it many become defiled, that no one is sexually immoral or unholy like Esau, who sold his birthright for a single meal. For you know that afterward, when he desired to inherit the blessing, he was rejected, for he had found no chance to repent, though he sought it with tears. So we've answered the question why, because He loves us and we're His children. How? So here's some things to look for. Look for situations in which you are having to find a way to be at peace with somebody. If there's conflict in your life, there's a chance that God is using that situation to force you to be at peace with everyone. Look for situations in which He's making you practice holiness. I really like this. Practice holiness. You want to ask yourself the question, who's holy? Well, no one's holy but God. So I can't really be holy because I'm not God, but I can practice holiness. And if you watch for it, there's a very good chance that He's putting you into situations where you can learn to practice holiness. And finally, watch for bitterness. It's very easy, especially as you get older. I'm 42 now. I'm a lot more bitter at 42 than I was at 28. And this just comes from taking a beating, right? Life gives you a beating. It is difficult. It is not easy to walk through this life. And as you take those beatings, you will find yourself becoming bitter. As a Christian, it's not an option for us. So recognize it, see that it's happening, and ask the Lord for help. Say, Lord, I'm becoming bitter. I can feel, so you can actually feel it sometimes in your chest, that bitter root that's beginning to dig its way down into your heart. Watch for those bitter roots, and next time you find one, immediately stop what you're doing and say, yes, Lord, thank you for giving me this opportunity to learn what it means to be disciplined by you. We'll be back right after this with some closing thoughts.